I was beginning to get a little concerned about that. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for adjusting your schedules today so that we could meet at noon. We do have a quorum, and we're going to continue. I'll call the meeting of the Commissioners Task Force to order. I need to make an announcement. Some of you did not receive the pre-read information in a timely manner. What I don't know about technology is legendary, but I'm going to tell you what I think is accurate. And that is apparently there's been some changes in security issues at the district level that are blocking some of the correspondence. If that's the case, would you please check with your IT departments to make sure that you can get Michaela's notices? If there's something else and you're not getting them, please let us know. Actually, let Eric know, because I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. So that we can make sure that you get the information that you need in a timely manner. And we apologize for the inconvenience and hope that that does not happen again. We'll try our best to make sure that this same problem does not happen in the future. Today's agenda has been provided. Are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda today? If not, there is a motion would be in order to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Bert Lewis, and who else?
Second.
Oh, Jason. Okay. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And now we have the opportunity to review the minutes, and my thing just went off. So of the July 8th task force, are there any additions or corrections to the minutes of the July 8th task force meeting? If not, a motion would be in order to approve.
So moved.
Jason and Janet Eden. Thank you. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much. And now, Doug from the, I guess you're not on the plane, so.
No, our flights got canceled, so we actually could have kept our 3 o'clock meeting because we're stuck here for another day. So, oh well.
Well, take advantage of some of the opportunities. Make lemonade.
Always, always. Thank you, Chairman Porter. So we'll start with our ESSER 2 changes. As usual, we've got 9 of those before you for this month. That will bring their total ESSER 2 plans up to $52 million, and that is about $1 million net change between what they had previously submitted and what these changes encompass. And so as we go through the different districts, we've got Fairfield and Perry that are just moving some money around. Fairfield for curriculum, Perry for salaries. Marysville is using up the rest of their allocation, and that's for salaries and software. Then moving to La Crosse, they still have a little money left after this change, but that's for curriculum and salaries. Great Bend, this uses up the rest of their ESSER 2 funds. That's premium pay and summer school. And then Basser Linwood will still have some money left as they make changes to include some salaries. Then Fort Larned, that uses up the rest of their allocation. That's for premium pay. KCK is moving money around for summer school and salaries, and then Shawnee Mission moving some money around for some nurses. Like I said, the net changes is approximately $1 million or $982,000. As we look at our cumulative, then we have gone in and made some adjustments to that bar graph at the top. I think last month we still had that remaining at about 57 million. We knew there were some problems with our data. Lori's gone in and cleaned all of that up, and we're actually in better shape than we thought. There's only $22 million left in ESSER 2 that has not been planned for. As we look at the teaching and learning, setting at about 75% for those gold bars. So feel like we're closing in on ESSER 2, getting the funds planned for. And then, of course, they've got until next September 30th to get all of that encumbered, and next December to get it liquidated.
Are there questions or comments concerning the ESSER 2? If not, and since I can't see anybody, if you make a motion or a second, would you please identify yourself so we can make sure we know who it is? A motion would be in order to approve the ESSER 2 request.
Melissa Rooker, so moved.
Thank you, Melissa. Tracy
second it.
seconds the motion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? That motion carries, and let's move forward. And by the way, welcome, Deputy Commissioner Proctor.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Moving on to ESSER 3, the conditionally approved districts from back in February. We've got another one that we've cleared. That's Nest City. So their funds will be released and ready for them to spend. On today's slate, we've got 16 new ESSER 3 plans coming in. Those represent in total 72 million, but we have only deemed 71.7 million of that eligible. And we'll talk about the ineligibles when we get to them in a little bit. And then we have 10 districts that have submitted ESSER 3 changes. Makes their total plans worth 9.8 million, and it's almost an $800,000 net change in what was originally approved. So as we look at this, you all and the state board have approved 102 plans for 166 million. We still have 8 plans left that are conditionally approved that we're waiting on the stakeholder engagement piece to meet our standards. 16 new plans today worth 71.7 million in eligible expenses. So we've still got 126 that have not been submitted, and we've got 34 that are currently under review by the team. Demographics of the group, you can see those. Today's plans, the districts had 89 million at their disposal. Plans represent 71 million of that, leaving them with just under 17 million left to spend. And we do have 400,000 ineligibles that we'll talk about on the next slide. The ranges per district, Lewis is at the bottom end of that 167,000. Topeka's at the top end of the 40 million. And then the per student range, Shawnee Mission is the 431 at the bottom, and then Topeka is also the top at 3329. Teaching and learning, we're looking at 84% of the expenses going towards those categories in this group. The 2 ineligibles that we have both come from Parsons. They wanted to bring these in front of the task force for your opinion. We've said they were ineligible. We feel like it's consistent with what we've done in the past as far as these types of items are concerned. This first one is for intercom systems in all of their buildings for almost $360,000. The explanation was so that students could hear, and if it would have targeted those students who do have hearing deficiencies, I think we would have viewed it a little bit differently than providing an intercom system for every building across the district. And then the second one is air detection devices. I don't believe there's anything out there that can detect COVID in the air This was more so they could catch vapors. And that is another one that we have consistently deemed ineligible. So those are the two ineligibles. If you'd like to, you want to
Okay,
wait.
are there any
to talk about
questions?
them, or
Yeah, any questions or follow-up relating to the two that are recommended to be ineligible? Yes, Melissa.
Thank you, Mr. Porter. I guess help me understand that second one, because I know there's a lot of research about quality of air exchange in buildings being healthier when I know we've made improvements with the system in the building we work in. I mean, I keep a CO2 monitor in my office because there is research related to the pandemic about the range of CO2 in the air, indicating the frequency that it is exchanged, let's say. So I guess I don't understand what the system is that they were recommending or requesting.
so this is the way we read it. Was it is for air quality, and the note that they made specifically was to detect students who were vaping on school grounds. That was one of the main reasons they had listed for getting it. I don't think the way it was presented to us, it's hard to make a COVID tie. I think you're trying to, in what you're the way you're asking the question, but you can't detect the amount of COVID in the air with one of these sensors. And so that's what we've kind of said no.
And that's not what I don't think it's detecting COVID in the air. It's just about processing fresh air through a building and keeping the ventilation systems. And that's the range of my technical expertise, but I know that the air exchange is the key. And I guess I'm curious if this is doing that mechanical function or if it's a detection device.
Well, that's not how it was presented to us. It's vape, air levels, and motion. So it's a enhanced security system that we have deemed ineligible all along.
Okay, thank you.
And that's, if I understood you correctly, we've had similar requests that we have denied.
Correct.
Okay, any further, I want to make sure that there's plenty of time to, I see nothing else, Doug. So, oh, Randy.
I just want to come back to Melissa's. Certainly, we know air exchange is really vital. And I think one of the things that I see promoted a lot is some kind of air filtration system, whether it's portable or whole building or whole classroom, that that will not turn over the air 5 or 6 times an hour, which is the requirement to really reduce all kinds of communicable diseases if you look at the CDC report. So that's just another aside. You're really looking at something that be beneficial at reducing flu, reducing staph, reducing COVID. You've got to turn over that air 5, 6 times within that given space within an hour to do that effectively. And I see a lot of things marketed that will not even turn over the air 1 time an hour as effective. So just wanted to point that out.
Anything else? If not, let's move on.
So as we look at our cumulative expenses after today's slate, 171 million previously approved, 71.7 in today's group, still leaving us with about $525 million in ESSER 3 funds that need to be encumbered by September 30th of 2024. So we're really thinking districts need to get their ESSER 3 plans in the next 4 to 5 months, probably, so that they can have time to spend that money. But right now, at the teaching and learning piece, we're looking at about 74% of the requested items would go in those buckets.
Okay, any questions about the eligible? I don't see any as of now. Go ahead.
Okay, so then we move on. We've got some ESSER 3 changes. So Uniontown still doesn't use up their whole ESSER 3 allocation, but that was for curriculum. Smith Center has some changes for HVAC. North Ottawa, just moving some money around for JAG and for their summer school. Then we go to Weskin, moving some money around to purchase some textbooks. Girard for salaries, and then Valley Center also for salaries. You see that Valley Centers is only a net change of $150. Then to the next page, Ottawa still has money left to go, but their changes include salaries. Fairfield is for curriculum. Phillipsburg, this will use up the rest of their allocation. That's for salaries and textbooks. And that was the same way for Fairfield. That used up what little amount of money they had left. And then Burlingame, same thing, using the rest of their allocation for salaries. And so a little over $780,000 in net change for these ESSER 3s. If we include them in the chart, doesn't make a big difference in our allowable uses for teaching and learning with less than $1 million included in those changes.
Any questions concerning the change orders? If not, a motion would be in order to approve the ESSER 3 changes.
Mr. Chair, this is Melissa. Can I clarify, are we doing the changes separate from the slate, or do you want one motion with the ESSER 3
Just a second.
proposals?
On my note, it's going to be separate.
Okay.
This is just the change orders. This is not the entire thing.
Well, I will.
That's coming. That's coming up next.
Great. I'll make that motion.
Okay, Melissa makes the motion. Second. Lisa. Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries. And now the big one. Go ahead, Doug.
I'm sorry. We're done. We're waiting on you guys to vote.
We just did. Now, wait a minute. Did I make? Okay, I may have made the wrong statement. I'm sorry.
So you separated it out. That motion was just the slate of changes. So I would move that we approve the slate of ESSER 3 plans, the plans that need original approval.
And
Second.
thank you for bailing out the mistakes of the chair. Appreciate that. Is there a second to that motion?
Jason Winbolt, second.
Jason seconds that motion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries. That will not be the last time I mess up, by the way. And I'm going to deviate just a second and ask us, go off script. Janet Eaton, did you get my message from this morning?
I did.
Just wanted to make sure things were covered.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're good. Thank you.
Is there anything else? Doug?
Not from us.
Well, this was far too easy. I apologize for not giving you ample time and have a safe trip on your way back. And I'll see all of you in September, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.